Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. The other day I published a video called My Ideal Woman, and it was actually a request from a follower of mine, and she wanted to know what characteristics of a woman I went for and if they were the same characteristics as the men that I am attracted to, because about over 10 years ago I had a sapphic phase that lasted for about 3 years. Anyway, after reading some of the comments, I thought I would make this video about my ideal man. Oh my god, my ideal man. Well, I think, oh my god, that bloody dog. Ha! I'm trying to be patient. I've been waiting to kind of press record because of this dog barking outside. It drives me insane. I think, why do people keep dogs in flats? I'm living in an area where all of these apartments are very small, 20 square meters. Why would you put a dog in that space and bother the whole street with their barking? It's so selfish. Calm. Okay, so back to something more orgasmic. My ideal man. Well, I don't have, certain characteristics. Let me think of, first of all, let's think about the physique. Well, I do have some friends who have very specific tastes when it comes to the physique of their lovers, and I find that to be quite superficial, really. I remember going over the years when I've told some friends about a new squeeze in my life, and they've said the first question they ask is he fit? You know, I'm not talking about fit as in the gym, fit as in very attractive. And I just thought, well, I think the kind of guys I go for in general are the kind of guys who might be more library than gym guys, if you see what I mean. I do like geeks, I do like nerds, I do like intellectuals, and that's really important for me. However, it's also important for me, the physical side, but not as in like Mr. Muscle or anything like that. I think it's very important to eat healthy foods and be active, but just like I am, really, because I'm a really big fan of healthy eating. And now, going off the off the thing of physique here, but I mean, there have been times in my life where I've liked darker skin than mine, because I love that kind of Benetton contrast between the sheets. But I have surprised myself a lot over the years, and I've ended up with people that I never thought I would be attracted to because I've gotten to know them over time and they've seduced me. And I think that's a great way to actually to attract or to form bonds. It's not really about having a prototype that different people have to fill, because that's a real problem, I think, with dating today. People have this idea, this mold about what their ideal partner has to fit, and I think it has to be the other way around. I think you have to kind of go for the person first and then see if both of you can adapt, if there is a mold to. I don't know if that really makes sense. So I think that's been important to me. Well, not really important, but something that's kind of been surprising to me over the years. So I do like people who do take care of themselves, but quite intellectual, and also ideally I would like someone who's kind of who speaks different languages, who's lived abroad or something like that, so I can kind of empathize with my own situation as being a multilingual expat. And now that I've had this spiritual awakening, something that's really important for me is the someone who doesn't drink alcohol or rarely drinks alcohol, because I think that for me is more important than the vegan thing, because I'm vegan, and that can be a real deal breaker for some people. But I've never had that issue. For example, I've found that I've been able to the people who've been intimate with have actually become flexitarians through my influence, which means that they eat 80% plant-based diet, and then when they're not with me they have their fish or their meat or whatever, and that's okay with me. But for me, the alcohol thing is way more important. I don't think I could deal with the kind of guy who's going out to the pub and getting wasted and having hangovers and slurred speech. I really detest the smell of alcohol now after giving it up. It's been 6 years this year, so that's something I absolutely hate. I used to have massive Latin fever when I first moved to Spain. Oh, that dog. So I was very attracted to Spanish and Latin men. Whereas now because I've been here for so many years, I've seen that there isn't just one type. There are so many, and that's what happens when you move to a country. You see that the stereotypes are just very superficial, and then everyone is different. Everyone is a world, as they say in Spanish. Cada uno es un mundo. So I found that there are all different types of people. There isn't just one stereotype. But I did like the kind of the darker, the olive skin. I loved the olive skin. And also in contrast to the British guys that I grew up with, I found that Spanish guys are not as into football. I know there are some very strong football clubs here in Spain, but it's not the same as in England. In England, a lot of guys are kind of obsessed with watching any team, not just their own team. Whereas here it's not so much like that, and also the beer thing, yeah. But now actually I'm actually more open to even going out with a British person who might be an expat here. I do find British expats quite attractive, definitely, but they have to be kind of more on the conscious vibe, more of conscious living style, rather than going to Irish pubs and getting wasted like some of them do. So yeah, I don't really have and also something that's really strange, which is not a conscious effort, not a conscious choice on my behalf, but I tend to attract the kind of guys who do not exist on social media, and that's something that, even though there have been different nationalities, different languages, different cultures, different religions, a lot of the guys I've been with they're not on Facebook, they don't use Instagram, they just don't even do any of that social media stuff, and they don't do dick pics either. So they're quite old school, really, and I do like that, definitely. And of course, I've been with a guy who does no FAP, and that is just amazing compared to a FAP guy. I mean, there is no competition, because I'm very anti-porn and getting more and more anti-porn as time goes by, so I don't think I could deal with a guy who has some kind of basic animal opinion of sexuality. I would definitely love to explore more sacred sexuality with a guy who doesn't drink, and maybe you could meditate with me as well. Yeah. But I think it's always good to have an open mind with these things, and just take care of yourself as much as possible, and not have too many prefixed or preset ideas about who you want to attract. Well, because otherwise you could be judging someone quite superficially, and then so I just prefer to kind of get to know people as people. And then one day something might erupt. Erupt erupt, yeah, could be the right word. So that's my kind of style, really, because I think for me, trust and familiarity is very, very, very important in attraction. I'm not the kind of person who goes on, I've never been on Tinder or online dating, where you're just looking at the physique and judging someone on 3 things that they put on their profile. And I wouldn't be, so I tend to go with guys who are a bit older than me, and I wouldn't mind if someone had baggage, as in if it was someone who's divorced with kids or something like that, as long as they didn't expect me to be kind of a stepmom or something like that. But I don't mind that, as long as they're not having lots of drama with the ex. I've met a few people like that on dating sites, and they're all quite, fresh scars of a divorce, and they're just quite lost in some cases. Well, but I think there's a bit of everything out there, and I think you have to have faith, definitely, and just really invest in your self-love and your friendships and your family relations, etc. And then whoever you attract in your life should be the cherry on the cake. They shouldn't be the sponge. That's what I think. So my ideal man has definitely changed. Someone asked me if I was still into submissive men. I was definitely into submissive men a few years ago, but now that I no longer practice BDSM, that's not really my thing. I can't be bothered to dominate anyone. I really don't have the not the time or the energy, but I just don't really care. I just don't really care. And so, but I'm definitely into some kind of more sensuality than wild sex, definitely. So that is my ideal man, and I'm not quite looking for an ideal man at the moment. I'm really focusing on myself and really trying to cultivate my connections on in other areas of life, friendships and family relations, because I think that sometimes if you meet someone, they can kind of eclipse all of those things, especially now in lockdown. And I think friendships and family are so important, whereas a lot of the times most relationships don't tend to last. But anyway, well, there are statistics to support that, but I'm not really looking for a husband or anything like that. I'm a kind of more of a living apart together person, so I'd want to be with someone who's got their life set up as well. They're not just waiting for me to fill the hole in their life, if you see what I mean. Anyway, so that's 11 minutes of my ideal man. So hope that will go into the universe and some law of attraction thing will work and bring him to me. Oh my god. Anyway, if you have any more questions about sex toys, orgasms, orgasmic living, then please don't hesitate to contact me at venusohara.org or on Instagram at venusohara. Thanks for watching.